Hey guys, so I've obviously been doing the whole fighting thing for years, and I've always thought to myself that wouldn't it be great to have everybody have their fighting journal with them at practice when I'm teaching them? Because I'll tell you, I mean, how many times have I talked to some of you guys and go, okay, did you write that in your fighting journal? A lot of you don't have it, and a lot of you leave it in your car or at your house, or you're really good about doing it for the first couple of weeks because you don't carry it with you like fighters are. We think we're smart, and that I'll remember next time. So I can ask you, okay, so what did we work on 5 weeks ago? You won't know. You won't remember. I can ask you, hey, so when was the last time you fought that guy? What's your KDR? What's your kill death ratio? What's your win ratio versus that particular guy over the last 6 months? You don't really know. You can guess, but you really don't know. It's very difficult to keep track of what you're working on, what your performance is like, what you're thinking day to day, if you don't have, a fighting journal to log this in there. So the long and short of it is I went ahead and I built out an app. Another thing I'm doing, instead of getting my schoolwork done, trying to do stuff for you guys instead of my own work. Yeah, beat me. But in any case, so I went ahead and built out an app, a fighting journal. And it's, app.fightingjournal.com. It's a web app that, runs on your phone or computer or whatever. It's device specific. So if you use it, just if you lose your phone, you may have to start over if you don't do the backups on it, on your phone. But all the data stays on the phone. It doesn't run off of servers, it just runs on your phone. And so all the information you put in stays with you. There's no ads, it's free. Again, there's a little donate button inside if you want to kick down a little bit to help, justify missing school to build an app for you guys. But so the app, Fighting Journal, because I picked up fightingjournal.com, and it's app.fightingjournal.com, and I just put it up today. It's just to test it, and it seems pretty solid. I went through several iterations of features. So what you can do in the app, first of all, it's a fighting journal. You can write down day to day or whenever it hits you what you're working on, what you worked on. You're at practice and you go, okay, well, I worked on this and this today. I need to work on this and this next time. And it'll save it. Next week, you'll know. 6 months from now, you'll know exactly what you worked on in August. You can also track other fighters. You can track your fights with them. You can track whether or not it's just sparring, and you can track whether or not it's competitive. Now that can be tournament competitive or even at practice. If you're both trying to win, mark it down as a competitive fight. It'll track you can track your wins, losses, draws, and it'll establish your KDR, your win-loss ratio over time against everyone, and you can pull it up for each specific person. You'll be able to make notes on each individual fighter that you come across, every fight you do if you want to, and your overall training journal to be able to keep track of what you do. Now, I made this app for fighting sports, right? Because I'm an SCA nerd, but it's equally good for EMP, for HEMA, for LARP. You could use it for jujitsu. You could use it for your Warhammer games, whatever. It's that pretty much that generic. But the ability for you to be able to track all your fights, your wins and losses, and put notes after those fights so you can see what you need to work on. The ability for you to track opponents and how well you do over them and see all the notes on them over time is especially great, especially when you're going to a crown or something. And then on top of that, you can use the journaling part, the full journal, to just track your training, your fighting. It could be day-to-day stuff. It can be, what you do at practice. It can be whatever overall thoughts or performance at a tournament. It's a super useful tool because guess what? You guys are fighters. And getting you to remember to carry around a fighting journal, That's sometimes a challenge. But getting you to carry around your phone, let alone get off your phone, you know, you're probably going to have your phone with you at practice or at tournaments, or even just thinking in the, middle of the evening between your game sessions, like, oh yeah, I need to work on that. You just put it in your journal. So, like I said, fightingjournal.com or app.fightingjournal.com. Just check it out. Just check it out. And like I said, all the information stays with you. It's a free thing. No ads, no nothing. Again, like I said, you can donate to buy me a coffee or whatever is hooked up on it right now. But it's just something, I've wanted a training tool like that for a long time. And especially one that you could do cross sports, because like I said, you can there's categories in it. You could set up an SCA category. And if you do EMP, you can also set up an EMP category. You could set up a HEMA category. You can set up some game category, whatever. Also, you can set up subcategories under each. For SCA, you could set up sword and shield, greatsword, buckler, spear. And when you do fights in that, you can categorize them as the fights go along, what you were fighting against. You can do, and then you could also do Buhurt, and you could do all these other ones and separate it out by weapons forms or competition style. So it's a really, really good tool for you to actually get relevant stats over time on your performance, your raw performance, and then your performance versus individual fighters. And like I said, I really like the journal aspect, because everybody needs to stop pretending that they're going to remember verbatim everything that they've worked on over the last couple of years, because you're not. You're lucky to remember what you did last week, let alone last month or the month before. So try the app out if you want. I mean, I like it, and it's just another kind of gift that I can give to the community. Alrighty, guys. Talk to you later.